In Fairbanks,
he was waving a 44 at the victim. Of course, he threatened to kill her with the 44.
troopers hunt down a report of a man with a gun.
He's known to carry a lot of guns. He doesn't like law enforcement. He definitely doesn't have much concern for his life or others.
And when brown bears take over a remote village dump,
We have some human-bear conflicts, and unfortunately, it doesn't always work out.
Sergeant Dobson must fly in to mediate. If he can get there.
The bullet came very close to her.
And an escalating dispute between neighbors
That thing went right past my head. The zing was so loud it kind of hurt my ears.
puts troopers in Fairbanks in the crossfire.
You okay? You see that?
We got one. Hey, troopers!
The plane inside, we heard a male yelling and then heard 5 rapid-fire shots.
Don't turn. Don't be like that.
This
It's just like the movies. People snort cocaine up over.
is Alaska State Troopers.
You are America's finest.
Fairbanks, 2036, 1036.
Fairbanks 25. We're on college, just after intersection.
In Fairbanks, troopers are closing in on a wanted man.
Earlier today, the day shift responded down to Salcha for a domestic violence assault. The report was that she had wanted to leave him, and he was waving a 44 around at the victim. He threatened to kill her.
When troopers arrived, the woman's boyfriend was gone.
We're now going to report that he's coming into town on the bus. He should be getting there in the next 10 minutes or so. And so we're going to attempt to contact him as soon as he gets off the bus and then arrest him. We believe right now that he's carrying a backpack, and he may have that 44 in his backpack. So our number one objective when we talk to him is to separate him from the backpack. If he has a weapon on him, the last thing we would want is some type of hostage situation involving him on the bus with several people. He's known to carry a lot of guns. He doesn't like law enforcement at all. In fact, he told the victim of the assault that he hated the troopers and he did not want to be arrested. So he definitely is not going to want to see us coming. We're going to stage back here. Fairbanks 25 on 10-6 at the parking lot at Lacey and 5th.
Troopers surround the bus station and prepare to move in.
Bus stop is right there. We've got officers on at least 3 sides. So we should be able to keep him from going anywhere in case he decides to run. But we don't anticipate that he'll run. Seems more of the character who would stand and fight, especially if he's got a weapon inside of his backpack.
I'll be on a foot. 37. I'll be on foot as well.
9:35, I'm walking up on the back side of the bus station. This is the black line, right?
The bus arrived ahead of schedule.
Okay, so they say he's not here.
The man was on it, but got off before troopers arrived.
I say we all just go mobile. They're probably somewhere between here and
Where'd she drop him off at?
right here.
Oh, really?
Like within the last 10 minutes. And
We just missed it coming up, huh?
Yeah.
You were early.
by 2.
Okay,
They're headed this way.
okay.
They must now scour the area.
The bus driver said she dropped him off and that he's with the victim now, and they're walking to the near college. So we're going to get all the units and start heading that direction, see if we can catch up with them. See if we see him on the side of the road.
I just saw him there by the building on Clay Street.
So we just had one of the other troopers saw him.
On a stage here at 2nd Avenue. They're going to be crossing this bridge. I think we should try to contact him at 2nd and Multi 29. Is that him on the bridge? Yeah, he might be walking with a real slight-built female.
10-4, he paused there on the bridge. They're talking to 2 other males on the bridge.
They're right there on the bridge.
Sergeant Brian Wassman sets up directly in their path. Troopers want to avoid a shootout. There's too much traffic and too many innocent bystanders.
Right up on you. If you want to just get out of your vehicle, go get him. He's right there.
Trooper Wassman moves in on foot behind them.
And where's the gun now?
Fortunately, this time the man is not armed. He cooperates, but the woman does not.
Hey, ma'am, you come over here and talk with me for just a minute? Come over here and talk to me just for a minute? I appreciate it. What happened again this morning? Tell me.
He didn't do anything to me.
That's not what you said earlier.
He didn't touch me.
This morning, troopers responded to her call for help, but now she's changing her story.
I swear to God, he did not touch me. I swear.
What about the gun?
That was for himself. He just needs help.
Okay. What kind of help does he need?
He needs He needs to check into the hospital, and we were just talking about that.
Okay. My question is, where was he pointing the gun? Listen, I need to get him...
He was just holding it.
Okay, did he point it to his head? Okay, he pointed it to his head, right? What did he say he was going to do?
He just said sorry.
Okay. What you're telling me right now is not what you told the troopers earlier.
Yeah, but...
Now listen, I told you, I want to get him help.
I was still scared. Yes, I don't want to lose him, and now he's gone.
10-4. Okay.
I didn't do nothing.
Come on, let's get to you. You gotta get off.
Come on, you gotta let go.
You gotta let go.
You gotta let go. You gotta let go. Okay? It's all right.
Can I go with him?
No, you can't go with him in the car, okay?
The man consents to a search.
Yeah. There's no firearm in there. I will hand it back.
There's no gun in the bag. But right now he's looking at 3 separate charges, an assault 3, assault 4, and criminal mischief 4. The assault 3 is a felony assault charge, but the victim didn't seem very cooperative, just seemed to want to recant everything that she had previously said earlier in the day.
But in Alaska, domestic violence charges are filed whether the victim wants them to be or not.
Hey, don't chase the cop car, all right? The streets are a little bit safer, you know? We got one other felony charge off the street, so he can't be out there assaulting anybody else or, threatening anybody else with a gun.
From a hot Fairbanks summer day to one of its long winter nights.
Complainant reporting male hit the female with his phone. He has fled on foot.
Trooper Hayes races after a suspect.
Going to a domestic violence situation going on in a hotel. Someone called saying that they can hear some people fighting. They said it sounds physical. The male that was involved now fled the scene. Trooper Rallo's going the other way, so we can kind of pinch this guy off if he is running from us.
He is responding to a native male wearing a black jacket, gray pants, and a black shirt.
We're right in the area right now. Let's see if we can find the male part of this. What is that? What is that? So we went out with someone male matching that description. Hey, sir. Hey, you got any weapons or anything on you?
No, sir.
Okay, did you just leave the...
Yes, sir.
All right, what's going on with you guys?
I got hit. I'm here visiting, trying to play tournament, and then she hit me and, blamed me for everything.
Contrary to the call, the man claims that he's the assault victim.
You said that she hit you twice?
Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times before the person at the front.
All in the face?
Yep.
How much did you have to drink?
Let's see. 1 beer, 2, 3, 4, 5 shots. And I'm pretty hammered, but I know what I'm doing.
Well, why don't you have a seat here in my car? We're going to go back down there and figure out what's going on, okay?
Yes, sir.
You're not going to get all squirrely in the back or anything, are you?
No.
All right, so we're going to go back to the hotel and talk to Trooper Rallo. We're going to go figure out what's going on with her now.
They arrive to find Trooper Rallo's already detained a woman.
Why the are you trying to arrest me? Why don't you know this?
Is this the phone that's involved?
Well, yeah.
Okay. Hey, don't turn. Don't turn. Don't be like that. Come on. Calm.
I'm resisting.
Yes, you are.
Okay, I'm gonna go down.
Just relax, okay? If you just relax, then we can calm down. Realize what's going on. We're troopers, okay? We're not here to hurt you. You just gotta have a seat here, okay? All right, hang tight.
With both parties in custody, troopers try to get some straight answers from the motel clerk.
What made you call?
Somebody called, and there was noise outside. And I went to outside here. As I was going out, the phone flew out the...
Oh, so you saw the phone come out of the... Okay.
Upstairs.
Okay.
And then I went up, the young male was outside, and she was outside racing a bracket.
You know what they were yelling about?
She was yelling, "Can't," but frankly, I couldn't make sense of this.
You want to tell me what's going on?
This is all him right here. You
I
see
see
this
that.
out right here?
Yeah,
Look
it's
at
all
that.
puffy.
Yeah.
How many times did he hit you? Just once?
No, like
Or-
4 times. Look at.
Okay.
We're drinking, and then pretty soon he started getting really tough. Really tough.
Okay, so what happened with the phone?
He pulled the phone out, so I would not call on him.
Sounds like they were both fighting, but it sounds like he was the cause of the fight. He hit her a couple times pretty good in the face. She's getting really black and puffy. He's going to jail for assault, and she has a warrant, so they're both going to jail. There's your phone back for you. Have a good one.
On the outskirts of town,
Fairbanks 24.
just as the weather takes a turn for the worse.
Starting to get a little bit colder here, going later into the night, and the snow that fell earlier in the day that was pretty wet. They're starting to freeze, so the road conditions are getting worse as the night goes on here. So
1019 to Delta. A female who's advising that her neighbors were shooting while she was outside. One of the bullets came very close to her.
So probably 1019 that direction, send me another unit. She said she was outside, her neighbor fired a few shots, and she's claiming that some of these rounds barely missed her body.
Apparently there's been past disputes between them before.
You know, anytime we deal with anybody who has guns, and if these shots fired at our complainant are intentional, then it obviously raises our awareness level. And if they, you know, are in that kind of state of mind, then they're going to want to maybe take a shot at us.
The call takes Trooper Rich deep into the Fairbanks backwoods, where the wilderness makes directions a challenge.
Fairbanks 24, I'm planning on taking Stringer. Is that going to put me close? We're about 25 miles away. Salter's a pretty rural community. There's, you know, a lot of space in between houses. Other individuals that we've contacted out there we've had issues with.
And the slick roads are slowing him down.
The road conditions are pretty horrible right now, so we'll get there as fast as we can. It's not going to be much use to anybody hitting a moose or going into the ditch because of the road conditions. It's icy.
Finally, Trooper Rich locates the scene.
24, I believe we're 23. There's a white van parked up front.
Sounds like the neighbor shooting lives in a trailer on the same property.
A dark and remote call can be deadly for a trooper running solo. So Troopers Hennessy and Rollo arrive to back Rich up, just as a figure steps out of the shadows.
Hey, we got one. We got one. State troopers! Got any weapons or anything on you? Okay.
It's the woman who made the call. She's waiting to tell her side of the story.
So what's going on tonight?
He's right here. He's the next driveway down is on the right.
Okay.
I just got on my truck, standing right outside my truck, right there. And that thing was so close. I mean, I've had him like 10, 20 feet. That thing went right past my head.
So you think he's shooting through the trees, though?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
he had
yeah.
to. He was shooting my direction because the bullet was right here. I know it was. The zing was so loud, it kind of hurt my ear. It scared me when it went by, you know. He's the next driveway down. It slid.
What's his demeanor? Is he pretty hostile, dude?
But yeah, he was hostile to me.
Okay. All right. Well, if you want to hang tight in your house, I'll go contact him, and then we'll come and talk to you and let you know what we find out, okay?
Yeah.
It's down here. Fairbanks 24. We made contact with. We'll be approaching on foot to res, approximately 100 yards or so to the east from her Tony.
Troopers slip into the dark woods.
Yeah, looked like that porch light was on, so he might be up there. The three of us will just hang tight on the right-hand side. We have the best cover. Hey, we got one. We got one. State troopers! State troopers!
Neighbor must have called you, huh?
Yeah, what's going on with the neighbor? She said she was over by her vehicle and a couple of rounds came in through the trees and stuff and just barely missed her.
No, full of it. Rounds were that way towards my wood pile. And I just emptied the magazine. I've been down Anchorage shooting. I just figured I'd empty it out before I put it away instead of unloading them.
How many rounds did you fire? What did you say? 7 rounds?
Exactly 7. So.
Okay. Is it possible that you're shooting in a direction that it's going towards her? I mean, you know where her place is, right?
Oh, yeah.
So there's absolutely no way that you're shooting in that direction?
No, because it's right over here. You can see my wood pile.
Okay.
The two stories don't match, so there's not much troopers can do.
He showed me the direction that he was shooting. It's nowhere near the direction that the complainant said it was. I would tend to believe that she's probably nervous and over-exaggerating. All right, so here's the deal. He's been advised. I told him to be a little bit more cautious about his surroundings when he's firing, and he's well aware of that.
You know, I think he was careless, maybe like shooting in the air and then popping off.
Okay.
It definitely went past my head.
Yeah, okay. She's been advised not to go back over to his house to avoid any other further confrontation, and that she's been trespassed from there, so if she goes back, she'll go to jail. It's one of these calls that turns out to be something completely other than what it was reported as, and that's just the type of stuff that we have to filter and sort through and find the truth and see what's actually going on.
Almost 400 miles south, outside Homer, Sergeant Jeremy Stone is after a familiar drug suspect, and he's heading straight to the source to bring him in.
It's a known drug house. He hangs out with a lot of meth heads. He has a long history of that kind of stuff with us.
But bringing him in won't be easy. The suspect lives in one of Alaska's most unique and tight-knit communities.
We have 4 Russian Orthodox villages in our patrol area here. Sometimes that creates some unique challenges because they don't necessarily want us in there enforcing laws. Oftentimes they'll speak English, but when they get in trouble, they'll start speaking Russian like they don't speak English.
En route, he gets an alarming tip from a fellow trooper.
Yeah?
Have you been inside?
I have not been inside, but the windows were all blacked out and covered up.
They got guns in that house. They got a lot of hiding places up in there, too.
We'll be watching our backs. we're here at the residence now, so.
But in this remote southern village, backup is miles away. Sergeant Stone will go it alone.
Hey, state troopers, let me see your hands. Hey, state troopers, let me see your hands. You right?
No.
No, let me see your hands. Come here. Turn around for me. Okay, go ahead and turn around. You got it. Come here. Come here. Step on back. What's that?
Picking up the toilet paper because I'm supposed to go to the bathroom.
You're supposed to go to the bathroom?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, what's your name? Right? Yeah. Okay. Why don't you drop your cigarette for me here? Okay. I want you to put your hands right here for me. Okay, you got any weapons?
Yeah.
Where's your knife at?
This isn't the suspect Trooper Stone's after, but it is someone he recognizes. And he's wanted for violating his parole.
Okay, I'm just going to detain you right now, okay?
What's going on?
Well, I was actually not here to look for you, but you have warrants out for your arrest. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know that. All right. Who's in here? Hey, who are you, man?
Huh?
Who are you? You have any weapons in the car?
Why?
I want to know if you have any weapons in the car. Don't ask me why.
Uh,
Put your hands on the wheel for me so I can see you, okay?
okay.
Do you have any weapons in the car?
No.
Okay.
The man in the truck isn't his suspect either.
Inside?
Well,
Is he inside? Yeah. You better tell me the truth. Okay.
Stone's already outnumbered 2 to 1 before he's even entered the house. With one man in cuffs, Stone heads back in for his suspect.
Try to make contact with the other tenant so you can inside. State troopers, come to the door. State trooper. Stepping out. Where's he at?
Who?
Where's he at? I know he's inside. Where's he at?
I don't believe I know who.
Okay, turn around. I'm not gonna play with you.
It's not his man.
You told me the other day he lived here, okay?
I don't know if he's here.
Okay.
I just woke up.
You
He's
live
banging
here.
on the door.
You live here. Where's he at?
Is it a law and have to know everyone who's in your house at all the times?
You should know.
It's a simple question,
Yep.
officer.
Well, you have somebody in your house who
I'm
has a
asking.
warrant out for their arrest, and therefore, yes, that's against the law.
You guys need to stop coming with your pistols pulled out on me every time.
Maybe if you didn't have people who were wanted all the time coming to your house, you didn't have to worry about us coming to your door in the first place.
Right.
So tell them coming out, and then I'll leave. That's it.
The suspect finally emerges.
Hey, turn around for me, man. You know you got a warrant out for your arrest?
Yeah.
All right.
Who's the other guy?
Back in my car already. He's coming out to go potty.
I hope you don't go potty in there.
I was looking for you. He's just an added bonus today. All right. Ain't nothing like going to jail with friends, right?
Family.
Really? All right.
I get bottom bunk. Old age women.
They're short bunks, so you guys got share bunk. Throughout the state of Alaska, troopers are required to perform in areas where backup can be hours away. It requires us to talk with people, even people who are suspects, with dignity and courtesy. And as I did with these two individuals, just treated them not as bad people, but just people who made bad choices. You know the drill? Step to the right. There you go. Have a seat.
Spanning 300 miles along Alaska's southeastern coast lies the Alexander Archipelago, a chain of heavily forested islands pulsing with some of Alaska's richest wildlife, including its apex predator, the brown bear. 1,600 brown bears roam Admiralty Island, a 96-mile Eden, making it one of the densest brown bear populations in the world. And run-ins with these massive brownies are a constant threat to residents of this remote region.
It's just kind of a fact of life with these guys living in a community like this. There's lots of brown bears, there's lots of people. We have some human-bear conflicts, and unfortunately it doesn't always work out.
Today, Sergeant Matt Dobson must fly 55 miles to the remote village of Angoon to investigate a deadly encounter between man and bear.
A couple of summonses to serve, 2 individuals that shot a bear at the Angoon dump and then didn't report it and dumped it in the dump. It was probably legitimately killed in the fact that it was being overly aggressive towards some of the workers, but there is a requirement that they report that to the state and that they salvage the hide and the skull and the claws and turn those over to the state, and that didn't happen.
Dobson's suspect is on an island only reachable by boat or float plane, so he'll take to the skies, piloting himself to serve the papers. With hundreds of miles of area to patrol, troopers in these remote regions often have to pull double duty as pilots.
If you get the mark on Angoon at 10:21, let it know I'll be there about 9:15.
But this duty also doubles the danger. Small aircraft crashes are the leading cause of trooper deaths in Alaska. But turbulence isn't Sergeant Dobson's only worry.
The right front wheel, nose wheel, just got something sticking with it. We need to make sure that gets up or we won't be able to land. The right front wheel, nose wheel, just got something sticking with it. We need to make sure that gets up or we won't be able to land. You don't have the ability to land on a runway with 3 wheels, but at the same time landing on the water is hazardous because you got that drag right there. See if we can cycle it back up. Landing gear is down. Get enough. Landing gear is up. For water landing. We're good to go. We're here.
Safe on the ground, Dobson meets up with the Village of Angoon's public safety officer, Charles Hartzell, who leads him to the bear's killer.
VPSO Hartzell said that one of the guys is working out the road, so we'll go out and contact him.
The men shot the aggressive bear at the dump. The shoot was legal, but they didn't harvest the animal properly, which is illegal. Sergeant Dobson swings by the dump where the shooting occurred.
They have kind of an open dump area, and it's pretty much a huge attractant. We've had a sow with 2 cubs that have been in there most of last fall, and then showed up again this spring, and one of those cubs was one of the animals that was shot.
Oh, it's Mom and the cub. She's back. I'm surprised she's back.
The dead bear's mother and her surviving cub are foraging again today.
We have to come up with some sort of solution to keep the bears out of the dump. They end up being a hazard to the people. We have some human-bear conflicts, and unfortunately it doesn't always work out for the bears.
But they'll also need to deal with the residents. And in these remote areas, troopers can face resistance.
There's some resentment that the only time that we show up, in their eyes is when a crime has been committed. That portion of the community that would prefer we didn't show up. They can be aggressive. You always need to be cautious.
Isn't it walking right there?
That's good. How's it going? My name's Matt Dobson. I'm with State Troopers out of Juneau. I wanted to come down here and talk to you about the bear issue. The state's not too concerned over the fact that you guys shot the bear because it was being aggressive, and that's what you had to do. The big thing is the state needed to know about it, just so we could at least get the hide and the claws and the skull salvaged. It's your responsibility to make sure that happens.
The only problem I have is if I shoot another one, I'm not gonna take time away from my job to go and skin it. If that bear kills me, he's not gonna come back and come and get me.
I know what we want to prevent happening, and it's a statewide issue, is that people either just don't report or they're taking the claws and the skull and potentially selling them or doing something with that because they are property of the state. You're going to have to go to court here in Angoon.
But the man still objects.
Would you guys take a bear to court? I don't think so. I wasn't gonna wait around for somebody else to come out and take care of it before it hurt one of my crew. It came after us 3 times. I gave it a warning shot, and it was about from 6 feet from me. I shot it into the dirt. It didn't stop it, so I had to deal with it my way. 4th time, I finally got rid of it. Way up here in the woods, and there's no darn way we're gonna skin that thing out or let anybody else know about it.
He didn't want to have to take the time to go out and deal with that bear, and it is a lot of work, but that's also part of the deterrent to keep people from just going out and randomly shooting bears, is that there's an obligation associated with that. All right, thanks.
Dobson heads back to his plane to prepare for the bumpy ride back to Juneau. But he has one more task before he can leave. Another trooper on the island is requesting his help.
One of the AST troopers, Josh Bentz, has got some warrants that he's trying to serve. We'll give him a hand.
Trooper Josh Bentz briefs Dobson on the suspect.
He's a guy. 3 warrants total for theft, criminal trespass, and assault.
Bentz is pretty sure the man is on the remote island for a reason.
Sometimes people try to find places to hide out, and Angoon would be a good place to hide out. There's no roads in and out of Angoon. It's a remote village, not a whole lot of action going on.
They head to his last known location in force.
This individual basically rushed into his grandmother's house and started destroying items, like tore the phone off the wall, broke several items in the residence.
They fan out to cut him off if he runs.
Go ahead, someone keep eyes on him. If he does decide to run, we're going to see him. Go ahead and help him, keep eyes on him. He's not. I thought it was him. Sorry.
It's the suspect's stepfather who denies the suspect's home.
Doesn't live here, will never be here.
Is there anyone else in the house?
I don't know. I haven't been upstairs. I don't go upstairs.
I thought I heard voices over in this area.
As far as I know, I'm the only one home.
But Trooper Bentz isn't buying it.
Mind if I clear the house real quick?
Go ahead.
All right. State troopers. State troopers.
Let's go.
There's that bed downstairs that we should look on there. Hello. State troopers. Hello.
Just stay right there.
We have some business to deal with here. You need to come with us today, okay? All right. You knew this was coming?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The suspect cooperates. Troopers will take him to jail in Juneau, a result of Trooper Bent's solid police work.
The stepfather thought he might have been on a road clearing crew, indicated that he was out on this point over here, which there are no roads. He just kind of seemed like he wasn't giving us the full story. What the truth is that he knows he's upstairs sleeping. He's going to be transported to Juneau, where he will be served with the remaining 2 warrants that are out of Juneau Police Department, and he will see a judge either this afternoon or tomorrow morning.
Back in Fairbanks,
NCIC 133.
Trooper Keenan Mulvaney is ready for anything.
We're going to go out to the Gold Stream Valley. It's not patrolled very often, but not a lot of things go on. When they do, they're kind of weird things that happen.
Today's no different. Looks like Mulvaney's troubles are behind him.
Yeah, we're kind of being followed by a vehicle. Yeah, we're kind of being followed by a vehicle. I don't know what the deal is. I mean, they could have bad intentions. Could be trying to get us to stop them. Something weird like that. So we're not going to let him do that.
Mulvaney pulls to the side of the road to see if the car will pass.
They might be baiting us to do a confrontation. Let's see what happens when we go a quarter mile down the road. Yep, following us. I'm gonna try to get a little bit ahead of him and duck down a driveway so I can watch him pass.
Hello, you don't mind.
He's looking for me right now. I'm just gonna contact him, ask him why he's doing what he is doing. I think his hand is out the window now. I think he's flipping us off. Yeah, he's definitely flipping us off. I don't think he likes the police.
The man pulls over.
I'll be out this vehicle at Bucks and Gold Streams. He's got no tags. Stop! Stay right there.
Hey, it's a good one to film, man.
Hey, man, you don't have any tags on your plate.
Right.
Did you know that?
See that from there, man? You eagle eye, man. You my man.
Yep.
I'm pointing to God right now. You can
They're required to be in the back.
Right.
Do you guys have a license, registration, insurance with you?
I got everything you need and more, homie. Right here for you, brother. Right here in that.
You are required to have both of your tags on the rear of your vehicle. It's a $75 fine.
Genius or you're a liar, one of the two.
Well, to be honest, you've been driving real slow for a long period of time. It's pretty easy to see that, bro.
Keep adding it, lawyer. I'll be there. Name the date. I'll be there. You got this? Get the camera, man. Get that shot. Look at this. You know. Thank you, sir. That guy saw my tag from 200 yards away, man. This guy needs a raise.
200 yards, you think?
Or whatever that was. I know, Hunter. You are America's finest.
Just stay in your car.
You know how much I get paid an hour to sit here and wait? How much I get paid? Sit here and wait. How much?
NCIC 33. It's 1098. Hostile to law. What kind of history is yeah.
Here.
Would you mind if I talk to you for just a quick minute and then get you guys on your way?
I don't really want to get out of the car. If you have something to say to me, you can.
Okay, sure. If you want to get out of the car, just want to make sure you're doing okay.
Stop!
Want to make sure that people don't aren't burglarizing people. Okay, take care, drive safe. Okay. Good thing he didn't run over my foot. I want to make sure she was okay because he was pretty out there, but she apparently is and didn't want to get out of the car and talk about it. He's trying to get me upset and yell at him or do something that he could latch on to and complain about. So not gonna let him do that. He obviously just wanted to yell at the police today.
As night falls on Fairbanks,
He's stating that at first he heard one shot, and then approximately 5 more in succession, and a man yelling.
We got a call about gunfire. Complainant said he heard one shot, and then heard somebody else, a male in that area, yelling, and then heard 5 rapid-fire shots. Typically, when we get gunfire shots, a lot of times they turn out to be, fireworks or something like that. But with the male yelling, that raises concerns, obviously, that it could potentially be a domestic situation. Hopefully not an assault. It's always something that we have to consider a possibility. We live in Alaska. People do have guns, and it's not uncommon that, things like this can happen. Is out with 24.
State troopers! State troopers!
Can you see in that window?
No answer, but the doors open, so troopers move in.
We went inside. We just wanted to make sure that nobody in there was hurt and needing help.
State troopers! State troopers!
Nothing looks weird in here.
And there's no evidence of gunfire or a struggle.
We've got our dispatchers calling the hospital to make sure that, nobody's been brought in there that's been hurt. Sometimes it's a misunderstanding, but we go there expecting to find something, and we get there and there's absolutely nothing. It's not always the result you want.
In the rural post of Anchor Point, with a population of under 2,000, Trooper David Chaffin is trying to adjust to his new beat.
I spent almost 2 years in wildlife enforcement. I came from a background in patrol. About 2 months ago, I switched back over to patrol. Good to get back on the horse and get back to catching bad guys.
And he's already earned himself a nickname in the department.
Yeah, well, that's the joke, that I tend to stumble into a lot of drug-related arrests, so they joke that I'm the K9 unit. In my opinion, that's some of the most rewarding work you can do in law enforcement, is make a vehicle stop and end up with a felony case out of it. It's like your baby from start to finish.
Chaffin sets up on a busy thoroughfare and sniffs out a traffic violation almost immediately.
We're going to follow this guy for a minute. He doesn't have a mirror, as required by Alaska law. Doesn't have any mirrors. We'll stop. How's it going today, guys? Good. My name's Dave Chaffin. I'm with the troopers. The reason I stopped you don't have any mirrors on the outside of your car. You got to have at least the one on that side. So, yeah, because that's how people sideswipe people, right?
And the trooper's nose for trouble detects another possible violation.
How much weed do you guys got in the car?
Weed, huh?
It reeks.
Well, we have spice. It's legal. We smoke it not.
Oh, you got spice? Okay. How long ago did you smoke it?
An hour ago.
Hang tight, I'll be right back, okay?
Spice is a synthetic marijuana with very real mind-altering effects.
We're going to put him through FSCs to make sure that he's not impaired by drugs. He said he smoked spice within the last hour. A lot of times when people say they smoked spice, they mean they actually smoked weed. And spice is also controlled in the state now. If he is impaired, that's illegal. I mean, they're moving around a lot out there, so they could be stashing something, or you could be taking something off his person.
Chaffin decides to put their story to the test.
Chat with you out here real quick, man. Just step right back here to my car. You don't have any guns, knives, bazookas. Can I pat you down for my safety real quick? Or you're crazy tense. What's going on? What are you worried about? What are you on probation for?
Drugs.
Drugs? Okay. Did you smoke spice with him? Be honest.
No, I didn't.
Because your PO is going to ask for UA. You know that, right?
I know.
Okay. All right. Is there anything in the car that's going to get you in trouble? No?
5965.
Can you shut the car off and hop out for me? Do you have anything on you? Just poke, stab, stick, shoot me?
No, sir.
Can I pat you down for my safety? Do you mind? Face away from me, hands straight out to your sides for me, okay? Straight out to your sides like an airplane. There you go. Where's your pipe at?
You left this pipe on the seat right there.
Whose pipe is it?
That's his pipe.
That's his pipe. So did he smoke with you?
We smoked in town, like, after work.
After work?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's go over to the sidewalk where it's flat, because we're going to do some walking and stuff, man. 5.
Sorry.
Slips off and running.
It's kind of hard to do.
Okay, just do the best you can.
I've been working all day, kind of tired.
Okay. I think it was 12. Improper turn.
Sorry, that's kind of hard. I've never had a test like this before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did the instructions make sense to you, though?
They did. It's just kind of hard to do, because normally I can't even do that.
Okay.
I really can't do that.
Okay. Any other drugs in the car?
No, sir.
Is it all right if I search the car and verify there's nothing else in there? Okay. Just you have a seat on the curb for me, across your ankles.
The man's behavior sends Trooper Chaffin to the vehicle for answers.
Usually they're opportunistic. They find a spot that they can pop open real quick and hide their stuff. The guy on probation is worried. He's in a bad position for a guy that has conditions he has to follow. He's not allowed to possess any drugs. The fact that this is in the passenger seat and the driver is saying it's the passenger's, that's certainly an issue. There's a spice packet on this side, too.
But Chapin's search is just getting started.
There's more to the story. There's some weed and a wrapper under the passenger seat. It's not looking good.
Digging deeper, he finds even more suspicious materials.
It's a mirror. It's just like the movies. People snort drugs off of them, meth, cocaine. They'll crush up pills and snort them. There's some white residue on there, but I can't, without sending it to the lab, I'm not going to be able to test it. But we might talk to him about it. Hey.
It's not mine.
I mean, you know what people use mirrors for, right?
I know.
You've seen Scarface? I mean, there's definitely some white residue on there.
Well, it's on the ground for a while. You can test it if you want.
I'll send it to my lab for sure.
Chapin returns to the vehicle for one final search.
Confirm those S04E06.
Stand up. You're under arrest.
What?
You're under arrest.
What'd I do?
You're under arrest for driving under the influence and possession of methamphetamine.
Oh, what? That's not mine, sir. I swear to God.
Okay. The driver was arrested. He's been charged with driving under the influence, possession of marijuana, and possession of methamphetamine.
But he won't be going alone.
I think you know what's up. You're under arrest. He's not allowed to have drugs. He's not allowed to use drugs. He's not allowed to be around felons. In this case, he was riding in a car with a guy that had possession of some methamphetamine, which is certainly a positive arrest for the community. An arrest like this is pretty rewarding.